Interesting sequel. Let's just see Jason at his full prime now. Again, the characters weren't a bit exciting or interesting as the previous two movies. Shitty tech music. Oh, God. Oh, shit. I think you might come. Wait, before you come, mate. 21 Jump Street. You can have it. Just spare my life. And can I have one more request? I want to do Friday the 13th Part 3 with you. You want to stay around and then you can have the film? Let's go. I think. See, that's so bad, huh? Yeah. Apart from the whole serial killer business. Hello Media World and welcome to Friday the 13th franchise reviews. Let's continue with Friday the 13th Part 3. Why did you black out the sun? The film was released 1 year after Part 2, back in 1982, and actually a little fact for you, it was actually released in cinemas actually on Friday the 13th. How pretty cool was that, eh? This marks the first appearance of the famous hockey mask that became an iconic piece within the horror history, and now Jason Voorhees is now complete. The story is set 1 year after the events of the second one, and a group of spring breakers go away for the summer and they of course go to Camp Crystal Lake. Which is amazing to me why they have not still shut this place down after the history of violence and mass murders that happened there with Mrs. Voorhees and Jason Voorhees over in the second movie. I would have thought, maybe shut this place down for the summer kind of thing. You know, it's like, you know, do you think Fred there'll be another mass murder this year? Nah, fourth time never happens, of course. It's like, you know, okay, nah, it'll be fine kind of thing. And of course Jason is still pissed and he starts killing everybody. The opening of this movie really annoyed me. It took 5 minutes of an actual scene from Part 2 as the actual opening. I mean, flashbacks is one thing, you know, like Saw or Nightmare on Elm Street kind of thing, like, you know, setting up what's going to happen or something that we didn't quite see within an actual scene, an alternative point of view maybe perhaps. You know, it was bad enough in the second one, it was a little bit too long in some places, but taking a 5-minute scene from the second one as your opening, it's like, you know, do you think people haven't seen the second one? They might have, but just in case they haven't, let's put the actual scene in anyway, no problem. Then we get the main Tarzan in Friday the 13th Part 3, and then we get this really kind of shitty kind of tech funk music, you know, very 80s kind of style, which it feels really out of place and doesn't feel right within a horror movie. It's like the editor put the wrong track on or something. It's like, ooh, this is going to scare audiences for sure. I imagine listening to this in a horror scene, seriously.
Live or die. Make your choice.
And this movie was half and half for me. On one hand, we had Jason, you know, stepping out of the shadows finally, becoming Jason Voorhees, the masked nutter with the hockey mask and the machete. You know, I really liked the transformation of that movie. You know, the good portion of the movie, he's kind of behind the shadow like the first two, you know, showing the body parts of the arms kind of thing for him, entering a scene kind of thing for him, kind of, you know, pervily watching someone kind of thing. Once he actually gets the mask, you actually see him in his terrifying full form, you know, with machete in one hand, actually, you know, doing these really elaborate kind of kills and what's like. Which I thought was a great step for the film to go into, the actual writer changing how we see Jason in this movie. You know, he's a bit of a stalker in the first one, he had that kind of that weird kind of creepy bag, you know, the one little eye, which I thought was pretty good to be honest, a little nice little effective. You know, he picked it up as he went along kind of thing and probably put it on his head because he's ashamed of who he is. In this one he actually managed to get a mask and he actually gets full on terrifying, you know, strangling people kind of thing and, you know, going full on force and busting through the window. I really liked that, full on menacing Jason kind of like that. I really enjoyed that aspect of that second half of the movie, really enjoyable. But on the other hand, But on the other hand, the movie was trying to be like the first one a bit too much. You know, it was copying a lot of the same scenes, or, you know, trying redoing them. I mean, I understand the fact of tribute, you know, trying to, you know, pass off, like saying, yes, the first one was fantastic, we're doing a lot of little tribute kind of scenes here, but actually taking the full-on scene and copying it is not really original. And being the fact that the target audience for this movie is the fans of the first two movies and actual horror fans in like, you know, if a viewer has seen the first two movies, like myself, and you're copying actual scenes, and especially taking a 5-minute scene from the second one as your opening, you know, it becomes a bit predictable in places, and you feel like, you know, the last little bit of the end scene, especially with the boat, I actually knew that was coming in miles away. A couple of little scenes here and there, I felt like, you know, that was good. Some of the death scenes were tribute to the first movie, which is fine, especially Kevin Bacon's kind of death scene, you know, the knife through the chest kind of thing. That was fine, I didn't mind that. That was a nice little tribute, but actually copying scenes here and there, I didn't really like that perfectly. Now the characters of the movie... Now the characters are a bit of a mixed bag in this movie. Some we get actually genuinely likeable characters, especially some of the female protagonists. I felt she was an okay character. One or two of the females actually genuinely quite liked, who I felt were interesting. But some were genuine horror stereotypes, like the actual hippie guy that was smoking weed. I knew his character was going to get killed off, and he was just like, I don't like your character, you know. It's not because he smokes weed or anything, it's because I know he's going to get killed off. He's the stereotype, you know, always just two bongs kind of thing, you know. It's like, no, kind of thing, no. And there's a couple in this movie that are just there to have sex pretty much, and it's like, you know, obviously gonna get killed off, you know, like the first two movies, you know, sex in Crystal Lake never goes pretty well, does it? One of the characters I actually genuinely quite liked in this movie was the guy that was doing all these kind of, you know, horror tricks with the actual group, you know, he's putting on his mask and he was doing these kind of fake deaths and stuff. I thought his character was actually genuinely quite interesting, and I actually really liked the scene where he's actually in that shopping mall place and he actually goes back and runs over that guy's bike. I thought that was like, yeah, what fair play to the guy. A lot of the other characters in the group I didn't really care about, or didn't really connect with, and I just felt like some of the characters there were just there for the body count, you know, like the first two victims of the movie. I felt some of the characters just could have been done much better. The main female protagonist in this movie was Deb, the actual girl that was in Camp Crystal Lake, you know, previously. She wasn't in the actual first two movies, but she actually had an incident with Jason a long time ago, I think during the events of the first two maybe, I'm not quite sure. And she's come back to Crystal Lake to actually kind of face her demons and actually say, prove herself, you know, he's not here anymore, he doesn't exist, or maybe she's going a little bit nuts here and there in places. She actually just shined the most for the last 40 minutes of the movie, I think, personally. Once Jason gets his mask on and starts killing off all these other characters, she starts to freak kind of thing, and she starts finding all these dead bodies everywhere, and she starts actually quite smart, and she actually, you know, stabs him. The only problem I have with her character is I don't think she was good as Ginger in the second movie. I felt her character was much better, much more smarter, I think, personally. But at least her character in this movie, she did put up a good fight, and she actually did think smart in some places. And especially the confrontation scene within the actual barn and how the way she actually dealt with him, I felt was like fair play kind of thing. The actual death scenes of the movie had a bit of a variety to them, but I felt some of that just managed for the 3D aspect of the movie, especially the scene where the guy's getting swished his head and the eyeball pops out. That's like, yeah, a little bit too far, the movie, a little bit too far. And, you know, Jason's not even superhuman in this movie, so how the heck can he do that kind of thing? And I know he's saying it's all like, it's a movie, it's a horror movie, but it's like, if you're going for like an actual character that's not supernatural yet, but an actual human being, I don't think you can do that, personally honest. I mean, I liked some of the actual, one or two of the 3D aspects. I liked the actual spear gun, I thought that was alright kind of thing, but I felt if I actually freeze framed it a little bit, you actually see the string a little bit coming out. But at least they tried in some of the aspects of the 3D aspect. One of the things I didn't like was the stupid yo-yo scene. Like the, whoa, it's 3D, it's coming at you, it's coming at you, it's coming at you, it's coming at you, it's coming at you. Don't do that in a 3D movie. Overall, I thought the film was very enjoyable for the last 40 minutes of the movie. I think the first half was a bit slow, a bit dull in some places. The characters weren't interesting enough to grab my attention in some of the little scenes, and some of the characters I generally just didn't care about. But Jason in this movie was definitely at its best, at his prime, of the famous hockey mask and the machete, and his, you know, stepping out of the shadows and actually doing a bit more of a terrorizing scenes, and the deaths are a lot more kind of personal and close range. So the camera work definitely improved for the last 40 minutes of the movie. The confrontation at the end I felt was really well done. Deb's character in the movie I thought actually put up a decent fight against Jason. She actually played it smart, and she actually did attack him, not just, you know, scream every 5 minutes kind of thing. She actually felt smart in some of the situations, so well done. I especially like the ending of the movie. I like what it suggests happened to her character, what's happening to her character in a sense. Really interesting way to end the actual movie, and it doesn't do a kind of typical kind of, you know, oh, it must come from one last scream, boom, kind of thing. You know, it actually just, you know, stays there kind of thing. It actually ends properly. Fades to black, Friday the 13th, part 3. Done and done with kind of thing. That's been my review for Friday the 13th part 3. If I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Have you seen the movie? What did you think of this movie? Do you think it was the weakest? Do you think it was one of the best movies? Don't know. Love to know your opinions. Comment down below. Somebody want to add you on my TV? Signing out. Okay, so if I give you 21 Jump Street, will you promise to leave me alone, not kill me? Oh, wonderful. See, Jason can be reasoned with. I don't know why everyone's always, you know, complaining, you know, getting killed all the time. Just have to bargain with the guy.